It may be hard for many animal lovers to believe, but not everybody has an affinity for our four-legged friends. It doesn't necessarily mean that these people are cruel or heartless. It's just that animals don't play as large a role in their lives as they do for others. That was the case for Hannah Shaw of Philadelphia. For the most part, she wasn't very fond of cats, yet all that changed when she saw one special feline in need. This story just goes to show you how much a person can change in their life and perspective. Not only that, but she now has one of the best jobs imaginable. Not everyone wants to have an animal in their life. It may be hard for some pet owners to believe, but sometimes people prefer a pet-free environment. Hannah Shaw was one such person. She never considered herself a cat person, and she certainly didn't think rescuing kittens would become her job. Yet she changed her mind when she spotted something shocking in her hometown of Philadelphia. "I looked up and found this little kitten in a tree," Hannah recalled in an interview. "I climbed the tree and got her down, and I thought, oh my gosh, what do I do now?" Hannah named the kitten Coco, who at just a few weeks old desperately needed special care. However, veterinarians and shelter volunteers were only able to tell her so much, so she was forced to conduct research on her own. That's when she learned a sad truth. Hannah discovered there were, unfortunately, very few resources for kittens like Coco. Most of the time, shelters were struggling to care for the animals they'd already accepted. A space for new animals was in short supply. Hannah eventually adopted Coco. Not long after, it dawned on her that this was a service needed across the nation. There were plenty of kittens who were in situations just like Coco's. According to the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, ASPCA, there are 7.6 million animals that enter shelters each year, of which 3.4 million are cats. Worse still, 70% of the cats in shelters are euthanized each year. Newborn kittens are even more likely to be euthanized because they require more resources to take care of them. Feral cats that aren't spayed or neutered naturally contribute to the high rate of stray kittens. There's even a name for the time between spring and fall when a lot of mating occurs and the cat population seems to explode. Kitten season. Katie Lisnick, director of the Cat Protection and Policy for Companion Animals at the Humane Society, said in an interview, "Seasonal kitten changes do occur every year, often filling shelters to the brim in the spring and summer months. Although warmer climates may see 2 waves of kittens or even high numbers throughout the year." Just 2 weeks after finding Coco, Hannah spotted another cat, later named Rufus, in a tree. A month after that, she found Zeke, who was even younger and smaller than Coco and Rufus. Caring for them all seemed impossible, especially for someone who wasn't a cat person. Nevertheless, Hannah couldn't help but get emotional when she saw Zeke. She said, "I just started to sob. I think this kitten was maybe 3 or 4 days old. I knew I was in way over my head, and I already knew that there was no one who was going to help." Hannah said, "I was 20 or 21 years old and I had no money. We knew we had to bottle feed this kitten, so we went and got the supplies, but we were way in over our heads. So my friends and I agreed to co-foster and to both put money aside to try and help the kitten." Hannah and a friend picked up a nursing kit, complete with a bottle and nipples, kitten formula, and other necessities like toys, litter, and blankets. "I used to work in the public schools in Philadelphia," Hannah explained. "I was so dedicated to this kitten that I would sneak him into the school with me because he needed to eat every couple of hours. I would actually wear a scarf around my neck, and I would keep the kitten in my scarf, and I'd just excuse myself every once in a while to go to the teacher's lounge, and I would feed him in there, or feed him in a bathroom stall." Luckily, when the school inevitably found out, they were quite supportive. Hannah said, "I was able to have Zeke kind of join the classroom a little bit, and he learned how to walk on the floor of the classroom I was working in." When Zeke reached the standard adoption age of 8 weeks old, a good friend of Hannah's in Arlington, Virginia, adopted him. "She's a huge cat lady, and she just loved this kitten," she explained. It was saving Zeke's life that sparked Hannah's obsession with finding ways to save baby kittens' lives. She didn't want to just help kittens herself, though. She wanted to help others find the resources to do the same thing. Hannah said, "The lack of good information and resources is what inspired me to start my project Kitten Lady. I wanted to give people a resource when they find a kitten in need." Hannah couldn't believe that at one point she wasn't a cat person. Hannah now spends her days organizing, providing resources for adoption, and educating the public about caring for kittens. Coco completely changed the direction of her life, and she couldn't be happier. Hannah said, "There's no end to the work that needs to be done, so I try to make it fun for people and make it feel like something people can do and be proud of what they're doing. My goal is to save as many lives as I can." It's so wonderful that Hannah went from being a non-cat person to being such a great advocate for them. They're lucky to have her on their side.